What should I do if I'm feeling blocked or disconnected during a Reiki session? Well, one of the things that I'm going to ask you is it your mind that's feeling blocked and that it's feeling like I don't know what's happening, therefore it must be nothing? It's a real question. The mind really often wants to be in control. And it wants to really know and to like latch on and to point to something. Or is the question that I'm feeling a block of energy in the system and it's not moving? Because that is going to be the question of how do we apply Reiki? How do we offer comfort to somebody? How do we interact with that energy that's kind of being right? And really, that's a big part about what I teach in my Reiki and intuition mentorship. How do we heal? How do we move energy? Because there's a lot of ways to do that. So if you're feeling a block or something that feels like it's not moving when you're either working on yourself or another person, like let's talk. Let's chat a little bit more about maybe this mentorship would be right for you, because getting into a classroom space can be really healthy to learn how other people are doing it. And yeah, it's something that when I was learning Reiki, I kind of did a lot of figuring it out myself. And I teach you everything I know. I am always discovering like new ways and like just really constantly connecting with new ways of shifting, of healing. And it's endlessly fun for me. It's all a game. It's all a game. Even grief and shame and the heaviest of things, on some level, when we start to bring curiosity and play into the equation, ooh, now we're talking. It's very human. It's a very human experience. But that brings us back to, well, what happens if it's just my mind that has no idea what's going on and I'm assuming that it's nothing? And in that case, I'm going to have you bring your inner scientist into the discussion. Welcome that inner skeptic. Welcome that inner scientist, because scientists are observers. They come up with a theory, right? But they observe. The whole premise is to create an unbiased like observation of what is going on. So I would really encourage you, and a bias is there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. So I would encourage you to take 10 steps back and say, what is happening? What am I observing? And what am I feeling in my hands is one first question. Do my hands feel like, is there anything tingling? Are my hands feeling warmer or colder? Am I feeling any textures? Right? Just like if you put your hand under the faucet when there's water flowing, you might feel temperature. It might be cold or hot water or warm. It might be just dripping. It might be flowing heavily. Okay? So there's going to be different things that you might experience in your hands. You might also be noticing that there's different things that you witness across your own body, right? Like, I didn't have a backache 2 minutes ago. I didn't have a headache 2 minutes ago before I started working on this person. But now all of a sudden I'm having these different sensations in my body. And that's not to say that you're going to get a headache or a backache if you're working on somebody else. But sometimes our body will reflect the energy field that we're really focused on, that we're like connecting with. Okay. you can always check in with the other person and say, how are you doing? Doing okay? Or you can say, what are you experiencing? So I just want you to know that sometimes things they might be observed the next day. Sometimes you might not notice anything for a few hours later, or until they get up off the Reiki table and walk away. Okay, so sometimes it's easy when somebody has a headache and then they don't have a headache, but they didn't feel anything in between. So I really want you to say, instead of I'm not feeling anything, try the question, what am I feeling? And this is a practice, is an ongoing practice. The more that your conscious brain settles down as you're relaxing into a session, the more that you will start to be a real unbiased observer. Okay. So I create whole lessons around this question. I used to teach 8-week classes. Now I teach 4-month classes. So this is really a very important question. And don't doubt the Reiki is flowing just because you don't feel anything right away. Okay. I believe in you. You just keep going, keep trying it out, and just see what happens, right? We don't develop works of art just the first time we start doodling. Okay, so just keep being curious. And if you have questions, if you want to learn more, I have an ongoing Reiki and intuition mentorship where I love talking about this stuff. I love teaching this stuff. It, honest to goodness, lights me up. So I welcome any questions or comments. So please send them my way. I hope this helps. Bye.